Piper! Piper!
Finished. Oh.
What do you make of it, Watson?
Huh? Believe you got eyes on the back of your head, Holmes.
Well, I have a well-polished coffee pot in front of me. Mrs. Hudson said it was left last night while we were out. What do you make of it?
Ah. Well, his name, at least, we know. I think Dr. Mortimer is a successful, elderly medical man. Well esteemed, since those who know him gave him this mark of their appreciation. Yeah. I think he's a country practitioner, does a good deal of visiting on foot. Friends of CCH. I should guess that to be the local hunt.
Oh, bravo. Bravo, Watson. You know, I am bound to say you habitually underrate your abilities. It may be that you are not yourself luminous, but you are a conductor of light. Some people without possessing genius have a remarkable power for stimulating it. I confess that, my dear fellow, I am very much in your debt.
Thank you.
But I am afraid that most of your conclusions were erroneous. H. Surely, hospital. CC suggests Charing Cross. I mean, if so, I would postulate a young man, under 30, amiable, absent-minded, unambitious. And the possessor of a dog. Can I see the stick?
What? Oh.
Thank you. Yes. Larger than a terrier. Smaller than a mastiff. I was right. A curly-haired spaniel. Oh. Dr. Mortimer?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I wasn't sure whether I'd left it here or at the shipping office. The SS Gibraltar UC docks today at Tilbury.
Ah.
You interest me very much, Mr. Holmes. I'd hardly expected so dolichocephalic a skull or such well-marked supraorbital development. Would you have any objection to my running my finger along your parietal fissure?
Please, Dr. Mortimer.
A cast of your skull, sir, until the original becomes available. It is not my intention to be fulsome, but I confess, I covet your skull.
Behave and sit down, Dr. Mortimer.
Spot. Yes. Good boy.
Well, I presume that it was not your phrenological passion which drew you to Baker Street.
Unfortunately, it was not, sir. Spot. I have here the statement of a certain legend which runs in the Baskerville family.
Baskerville?
Yeah, I'm an executor of Sir Charles Baskerville's will and found it amongst his papers. It concerns Hugo de Baskerville, who was lord of the manor at Grimpen on Dartmoor.
Dartmoor?
Some 200 years ago. The document is somewhat later.
Learn then from this story to be circumspect in the future. For those foul passions whereby our family have suffered may not be loosed again to our culpable ruin. 8th of November, 1742 is an intriguing preamble.
I read of Sir Charles Baskerville's death. From a medical point of view, it was a poorly informed article.
No, thank you. He died of dyspnea and cardiac exhaustion.
Were the conditions linked or were they parallel?
Oh, they were linked, in my opinion. There was some facial distortion.
Caused by the cardiac pain, presumably.
Yes.
You sound doubtful.
It was not merely facial distortion.
Well, in the year 1692, Hugo de Baskerville abducted a young girl. But she escaped across the moor at night. Curse him! He unkennelled his pack of hounds and hunted her down like a wild animal. When his 3 drunken companions followed, they found the girl in a deep dip or goyal, dead from fear and fatigue. They had also confronted the cause of her death, a huge, demonic hound. Even as they looked, the hound tore the throat out of Hugo de Baskerville. One companion died that very night of what he saw, and the other twain were broken men for the rest of their days.
This hound is supposed to have haunted the family since then, to the general misfortune of the line.
Well, this may appeal to your lurid taste in fiction, Watson. It's a fairy tale, sir.
Well, of course, Mr. Holmes. But fairy tales would not survive without a kernel of truth, huh? On the night Sir Charles died, I arrived at Baskerville Hall at first light. I shall tell you what I found. No more or less.
Wait, please, sir.
I had been concerned about him for some time. He had become obsessed with the legend of the hound.
It's by the summer house.
He believed he had heard the hound itself upon the moors. He even believed he had seen it. At the time, I took such morbid fancies to be part and parcel of Sir Charles's pathological condition.
And now?
I no longer believe that to be the case.
There, sir. We didn't like to move him, sir. Once we knew.
Yes. Yes, quite, Barrymore. A sad occasion, Mrs. Barrymore. An unhappy vigil for you.
He was our hope, Doctor. Hope of the country hereabouts. He brought the world to us. He was our hope.